Good afternoon, and welcome to the Lancaster Connects podcast, hosted here at Gardner's Mattress and More. I'm one of the co-hosts, Ben. I'll mention Jeff, if you're an avid watcher, my co-host, Jeff. We haven't had an update in a couple weeks because I was on vacation, but Jeff is not here with me today. He had full knee replacement surgery 2 weeks ago, and I'm happy to report update on him. He is doing well. Full knee replacement. He can stand without pain. Of course, there's rehab. Rehab is tough, and we wish him all the best with that. But here we are, flying solo today. And of course, Lancaster Connects, you're watching this because you want to see all the great things that Lancaster has to offer. Lancaster Connects, we highlight local nonprofits and charitable organizations making a difference in the Lancaster community. And of course, small businesses also doing the same. Small businesses that have a unique story and that like to give back. And that's exactly who our guest is today. We'll bring her on in just a little bit. Couple things. How to watch Lancaster Connects. You can watch it on Facebook. Gardner's Mattress and More Facebook page, and also the Lancaster Connects Facebook page. Just search us up in the search bar in Facebook. Also, personal LinkedIn pages for Jeff and myself, and of course, YouTube. Just search up Gardner's Mattress and More or Lancaster Connects. You'll find us. You can also catch past episodes. You can go to Facebook and scroll through old episodes, but go to lancasterconnects.com. There's an episode tab at the top. You will see past episodes. All of the past 83 episodes, I think, are on there. This is episode 84. I'm just realizing 100 is just around the corner. We'll hit that probably in spring here. We'll have to plan something special for our 100th show. But if you want to catch past episodes, do that at lancasterconnects.com/episodes, or just click at the top of the page. Also, if you'd like to be a guest, if you are a nonprofit or charitable organization, or an organization doing good things in the community, whether that's a small business or otherwise, we'd like to share your story. And it doesn't even have to be an organization. It could just simply be a person who is making an impact in the community with either the job they have or the responsibility or things that they've organized in Lancaster. But we love to share unique stories of people helping other people in Lancaster County. And to do that, just go to lancasterconnects.com/guest. Also, there's a tab at the top of the Lancaster Connects website. Click that. Tell us who you are and why you'd like to be highlighted on the show and what you have to offer to us. And we'd like to share those stories as well. I would love to hear from anybody watching on the show. You could just give me a hi, hello, message in the chat, whether that's Facebook or YouTube. I'll see those messages coming in. If you have a question for our guest, I'd love to share those questions with our guest. We like interaction from our listeners. Or if you have any other comment that you'd like to make, please do so. Entering a comment during the show will enter you into the prize contest, where we've got a few good, awesome, fun, whatever gifts to give out. Less Nor More Cuddle drinkware, tumbler, or Hydro Flask. And also, we've also got the On the Go bundle, which is a nice little memory foam pillow and blanket, nice for your car, traveling. Like I mentioned, I just got back from vacation and I was traveling. And actually, the pillows on vacation were not great. And actually, this little tiny pillow would have been better than any pillow I slept on vacation. The vacation was great, but the pillows were not. So I would much preferred to have this little pillow here. So nice little free gift. All you got to do is enter comment during the show. At the end of the show, we'll spin the prize later, pick a winner, and you'll just come in and pick up your free gift. All right, that's the intro. I think without further ado, we'll bring our guest on. Today, we've got Jennie Groff from two businesses making a huge impact on Lancaster County and really the world if you expand it, and we'll get more into that. So Jennie, you are one of the co-owners with your husband, Jonathan, of the Lancaster Sweet Shop and Stroopies.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. So Jennie, I've known Jennie and her husband John for many, many years. Um, we have a picture. I dug deep into the archives and I found a picture. John and I went to Millersville University together, and this is probably, there's no timestamp on the picture because that didn't exist back then, right? With cameras. This actually probably was a film camera that had to be developed, and this is a picture that someone has and uploaded to Facebook. So that's Ben with a ponytail. That's it's going way back, probably 98, 99-ish. And of course, there's John right there in front of me. We were part of a men's a cappella singing group at Millersville called After Five. Actually, we had a few different names. Quintessential Harmony was when it was a 5-piece. And then this was, I believe, After Five. Some really great friends in that shot, Greg, Pete, some others, Brian. But I just thought this was funny.
I love it.
It's like 25, ponytail man, 25 years ago. It's like, we were talking pre-show, Jenny, about like the kids' ages, and you and John have a son who's getting married. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Like, he's 22 years old. That's just crazy to me. So,
well, and you all sang at our wedding back 23 years ago. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It was an incredible honor to have you. You definitely were the highlight of a reception for sure.
Well, that probably would have been the last time we sung together. Probably, wow, that's I didn't remember that. I didn't remember that until you said it, but oh my gosh, yeah, I do remember that. That's funny. So yeah, we were in the choir at Millersville together, and there were a lot of great times singing together. So it's a shame John couldn't be on, but we're very, very happy to have you flying.
He sends his greetings, and he's very sorry he can't be here, but I'll try my best to represent him well.
I'm sure you will do perfectly well. So Jenny, I know this, but maybe our guests don't know this. Are you a Lancaster native?
So I grew up in New Holland, actually on a dairy farm.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, that's where my roots are. So
that's cool. That's cool. Now, did you have to get up super early in the morning and like help out with the cows and all that?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a mandatory thing that we all had to get up and milk cows, but I did that for my job, and there were definitely some early mornings. And I often think, like a lot of my small business, learnings came from working it out on the dairy farm. So you learn a lot of lessons on the farm about hard work and just working together. And
I was just going to say, like, I've never worked on a farm. I didn't grow up in that scenario, but I got to imagine that farmers and families that work on farms are probably some of the hardest working people. And those lessons are learned really early on, and hard work is what a business is all about, right? So let's start with Stroopies, because Stroopies, I think, came first before the Lancaster Sweet Shop, and I love me a Stroopie, and they're gluten free, which I can do because I'm wheat free. But a Stroopie is pretty unique, and you brought it to Lancaster. Let's talk about Stroopies and why you brought it to Lancaster.
So Stroopies are actually a Dutch treat. They originated in Holland, and they're like a cinnamon waffle filleted in half, and they have a homemade caramel in the center. And we are really proud of our gluten-free line. Not everything tastes good gluten-free, but Stroopies definitely do. So I'm glad that you enjoy them. And typically they're designed to like rewarm on top of your hot tea or coffee. And the steam can remelt the caramel in the center.
Like right on top.
Right on top. But I mean, they're good to eat anyway. But for sure, my favorite part is we were founded to provide meaningful employment for resettled refugee women that are starting their lives over in Lancaster. And, quite honestly, so my husband's family, he grew up in a candy business, Groff's homemade chocolates. And so when our friends from our house church had this idea about making Stroopies here, we were like, we loved the idea of working with our refugee friends, and, with Jonathan's family's background in sweets, we were like, this is really intriguing. But we were like, no one really knows what a Stroopie is in Lancaster. It's not like, we're kind of known for like our whoopie pies and our shoe fly pies. And we were like, could there really be a market for something like a stroop waffle? Stroop is syrup in Dutch. So like Stroopie or Stroopie. Um,
I was wondering where the Stroopy name
yeah,
came from,
yes,
because to
yeah,
me, like, a Stroopy is now, I mean,
yeah,
you've been around for a while. Stroopy is kind of
right,
synonymous with Lancaster. Like, it's
yeah,
just, it's like a brand that
yeah,
I associate with Lancaster. So,
yeah.
but a Stroopy is a Stroop waffle. And what did
Stroopwafel,
you,
yeah. So
and what was,
stroop is syrup in Dutch. So
okay.
so we didn't like, we can't like even like trademark the name or anything,
Right.
because it's like kind of like a generic name like soft pretzel or, or whatnot.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So, but anyway, we make about approximately 15,000 Stroopies at the Lancaster Sweet Shop and at our working center on Vine Street, with women that have resettled from Sudan and Syria, the Congo, Nepal,
Wow.
Burma, Eritrea. And then we do a paid English class as a part of the workday and just
Wow.
help the women and their families as they were getting reestablished here in Lancaster. And, it's really fun, Ben, just to see like an idea that was a seed of an idea start to just like
Yeah.
bloom and, have impact. And, we have a waiting list of women that would like to work at Stroopies. So like we're constantly
Yeah.
just
Wow.
trying to figure out like, how can we just take this idea and make it have more impact? Because, we're convinced if it can happen with a cookie, a Stroopy, it can happen with whatever is offered. So,
Yeah.
but the women are for sure my favorite part. I
So
just love working with
fr-
them.
from day one, you employed refugees.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that
That's
was
amazing.
the reason the company was founded. Actually, at the
Wow.
beginning, they were working with men, and then when I came on, I was going to be the main person that was spearheading it, and so at that point, then we switched it to working with women.
Right. Right.
And actually, I mean, I can speak to this because I'm a mom. It's just like it's harder when you get older to like learn new things and
Hmm.
adjust. I think for the kids that are coming, I mean, it's still a huge adjustment, but it's like, they're going to school, your brains just kind of learn easier when you're
Right.
young. But for the moms, it was harder to like be brave and step out and just get to know new people. And so, it really is such a great environment at Stroopies. I just like the culture there is, all the women have different stories, but
Yeah.
they all have similarities in their stories and they're all starting over in a new place. And, I just feel super honored. I mean, our family, if we look back, you know, enough generations, like 10 generations ago, our family came,
Yeah.
as refugees. So like I feel like it's kind of in the DNA of the
Yeah.
Lancaster soil. And there's so many families that are coming. And I really feel like Lancaster is, proud that we get to be a part of helping these families resettle. So yeah, Stroopies is just one part of all the beautiful things that are happening in Lancaster in that regard. But yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, there's a handful of things we can talk about. First, Lancaster. I don't have any numbers in front of me, but I've read that Lancaster is one of the largest communities
Yes.
for resettling refugees.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
probably know
Yeah.
those details
I am pretty sure the last time I looked that we were number 2 in the US.
in the
So like,
country.
yeah, so like there is a lot of refugee resettlement happening here. And there's 2 Church World Service and
Wow.
Bethany services that
Hmm.
actually like
Yeah.
are welcome hosts to these family that are coming. So yeah, there's just a lot of really great synergy and unity around this. And so many groups that are helping families that are coming. So yeah, it's really exciting.
And when somebody, so is that where you find the refugees to employ, through Church World Services
Yeah.
and Bethany Christian Services?
I mean, they will often like just contact us and say, do you have a spot?
Yeah.
But also a lot of our leads just come from like, someone telling a friend, kind of good
Hmm.
news travels quickly.
Yeah.
And so there's been a lot of just people that are just contacting us through just word of mouth. And there's actually a group coming. Church World Service just reached out to us and said, hey, can we bring a group of women from Afghanistan, just for them to just be able to see a workplace, just to see that this might not be as scary as what they think.
Hmm.
And we said, I wish we could have said, yeah, we'll hire everyone. Like, I wish we could just hire everyone that would like to work. We just need to sell more Stroopies to do that. But like, that's really why we exist, to provide that employment. So, yeah.
So how many women do you employ?
So currently we are a team of 15.
15, okay.
Yeah. So we really try to cater, like, most of us are moms. So like, like the days are flexible as to when it works, typically during when the kids are in school. And yeah, I know that work is important, but also being an available mother is like, that's something I really value. And I want to pass that along to the women on our team too. So yeah.
That's amazing. And so somebody that starts out at Stroopies, are they going to be there for a certain period of time, or could they be there years and move on to a different career? Is that the goal?
Yeah. So we have basically two goals, maybe more, but our two main goals are that the women would either like grow up into management at Stroopies and then become mentors to other women that are coming. And that's happening. And the other goal is for the women to use Stroopies as kind of like a launch pad to spring into the other careers that they really want to focus on as they get reestablished here. And we view both as equally as successful. We, like, for some of the women, they were teachers or doctors, or they were professionals in their countries. They can't just jump into typically they can't just jump into those careers. They need to get some credentials here to do that. But we love however we can just help them as they're starting over here. And we get it that not everyone's going to want to make Stroopies the rest of their lives, but we don't have like a set time, like in all the transition and all that's going on, they can be with us as long as they want to be, or as short, it's not like it's a like set program or whatnot.
Right. I had a question in my head, and it just evaporated out of my head. I know what it was. The work environment. It's got to be like unique, compared to like anywhere else. So you're teaching English as part of the work environment, but you have 15 women there that not each are going to speak an individual language or their own unique language, but there probably are communication. I don't know, challenges is probably not the right word, but like not everybody has the same background and the same culture and all of that. What is the work culture like? Yeah.
So culture is something we think about like all the time at Stroopies, because, we're all coming from different cultures, and yet we're in a new place and trying to shape a new culture among ourselves. And I know that there's a picture flashing up of us I just thought of this with the whole lunch thing really early on. It was like, typically at a workplace here in Lancaster, you would get your lunch out, right? And you would kind of eat your lunch that you brought. But like, that's kind of something that the women helped shape at the cultures of Stroopies, is like, why would we just like, not share what we bring? And I think I remember early on saying, well, I brought a boring like peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Who wants to share that? Right. And they were like, no, like the most important thing is not like what we bring, but that we're sharing it together. And that really has kind of been a picture. I mean, I know that's lunch, but that's kind of a picture of the culture we're hoping to create, that we can each bring the piece of ourselves to the table. And this is what makes Lancaster beautiful. This is what makes Stroopies beautiful, and like celebrating that. But one other thing I just thought of was our manager currently over at the Working Center. She had each of the women bring the songs that they like from their cultures, and they put it all together in this playlist. And it's like the most eclectic, beautiful playlist you are going to ever hear. And I just love it when I walk in there, because you never know, like, what language you're going to hear. And but English is the collective language that we're working at, all learning together. So as much as possible, we try to, speak in English. But if there's ever something that we need to explain, I mean, not me currently, but like we'll get a translator, or sometimes the women that have been with us longer, their English is getting better, and they can help translate for the newer women. And somehow it always works out.
Yeah, it's, I mean, there's an incredible heart to the business.
Yeah,
And that comes from you and Jonathan. I mean, it's like food is something that everybody can bond over. So like
exactly.
you shared that
Yes,
example, like everybody gets their
yes,
lunch or like in a normal
right,
work environment. And a lot of times people don't eat together. They like
right,
get their lunch and go back to
yes,
their cubicle, or
right,
they go outside, or, and
right,
that's
right,
cool. But
right,
in a lot of ways, you might not truly know who
right,
you're working with and working
right,
side by side. But that's, your culture is opposite of that.
right,
You need that, you want that collaboration and that
right.
togetherness, and to form that bond. That's awesome. And I'm sure you're helping to forge lifelong friendships
Oh yeah.
with people that are, from around the world. So that's just amazing.
Yeah.
So Stroopies, I think you said you make 15,000 a week.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
That's
that's a
currently what
lot of
we're making.
Stroopies.
That is a lot. We kind of have Stroopies coming out of our ears, right?
Right, right. So where can you get a Stroopy?
Yeah. So I maybe mentioned this briefly, but our brick and mortar store is called the Lancaster Sweet Shop
Yep.
on Duke Street. And so anytime we're open 7 days a week there. So yeah, you can come. There is a small line there that you can watch the women making Stroopies at the sweet
Oh,
shop.
cool.
You can get a fresh warm one there if they're making.
Mm,
They're often making there.
yep.
And so you can get them there. And then we a lot of those 15,000 Stroopies a week are being wholesaled, all across the U.S.
That's
We
awesome.
like yeah, they're in a lot of different small coffee shops and small
Hmm.
grocery specialty stores, and we also we'll do what this week we're setting up at like the Philadelphia Flower Show in
Oh yeah.
Philadelphia.
Hmm.
And so we're hoping that this is actually the first time we're doing that show, but I think they expect maybe 250,000 people to come through in the first week of March.
I know that's a big one.
So we're really hoping that, try to strategically find places that we can
Hmm.
share our story and share our Stroopies. And yeah, so you can try everything once, and we hope it'll be a success. But yeah, it feels like because Stroopies are unique. People are interested in learning what they are, and so then basically we take the traditional Stroopy and we dip it in the dark Wilbur chocolate and
Hmm.
decorate it and do all kinds of fun things with it. So we kind of have our own unique spin
Hmm.
on. Like our big competitors are in Holland that are making stroopwafels.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so we're very small in the Stroopy world, but we have a big heart.
Yeah. Well, I think it's awesome. And there's a handful of ways that you can enjoy a Stroopies.
Yes,
I think I saw a Stroopy candle.
yes,
Not that
yes.
you would eat the candle, but you can
No,
enjoy the
no.
Stroopy smell, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
There's Stroopy crumbles I thought
Yes,
saw in a package, and like
yes.
heart-shaped Stroopies, and like
Yeah.
you've thought of everything.
We do a lot of the hearts for wedding favors or
Okay. Oh yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
custom with a custom label. And I
That's
mean,
cool.
all the Stroopies are made with love, but we always say the hearts are made just a little bit more. So, you know.
That's sweet. And where would you say is the farthest away place that you could get a Stroopy, like that you know of? You said it's sold all over the country and maybe even beyond. Like, do you know of a place like halfway across the world that sells Stroopies? That's just awesome to me.
Yeah, that I am trying to think. I mean, so our brand of Stroopies probably, I mean, there's probably California would be the furthest
Yeah,
from here.
that's cool
We
though.
do a little bit in Canada with our brand, but we're basically stateside at this point.
Yep, that's
But
awesome.
yeah, yeah,
That would be cool to be traveling in like California and like walk into a grocery store, or a little coffee shop or whatever, and there's a little display of Stroopies.
yeah, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So you mentioned the sweet shop. How did that come about, and why did you start the
Yeah.
sweet shop?
Yes. So I mentioned that Jonathan's family makes the homemade chocolates. And so when we first started making Stroopies, we were like, oh man, we actually have this candy factory in our hands, not
Hmm.
everyone has that, but we asked his family if we could just kind of start product testing the idea out at Groff's. Groff's main factory is out on the other side of Millersville.
Hmm.
So that was just a huge part of our story because they helped us just, they had a machine that actually made the caramel, and some things that, like, when we first started, they were like making the caramel on the stove, and we were like, that's not going to work. Like we want this to be a good job, and like, not like, we want to quit after like the first 5 minutes or whatnot.
Right.
So they really, really helped us in just starting to get that idea developed and getting some accounts. But we were like carpooling at that point. We were carpooling women. Our family lives in Lancaster City, and we were carpooling our friends like out to the candy shop, which is only like maybe 15 minutes or so away. But we really started praying as, we realized that this idea had traction for a space that we can make these right in the city. Because another barrier for the women we work with, a lot of them don't drive. So having like walkable businesses in the city was really important. And so it's hard to believe, but already, I think it was 2015, we were able to buy 141 North Duke Street and did a lot of renovations to it. And then in 2016, opened the Lancaster Sweet Shop. And I always joke, like, the people walking by on Duke Street seem to appreciate the smell of Stroopies too, more than the cornfields out in Millersville. Like,
sure.
There just wasn't a lot of people around where we were making them, so it's really nice to have a central space that we can make them. And then we featured Jonathan's family's homemade chocolates at the Sweet Shop, and then locally made homemade ice cream as well. So. Yes, I tell people it's a sweet place to visit, and then we have coffee drinks, and just
the pictures just scrolling by. Like producer Chris from Cast Ahead, he's fantastic, but he's killing me with these pictures. It's like I'm hungry.
I know, right? Some of these are from the national. We just the beginning of February is National Ice Cream for Breakfast Day. Which is a major holiday, I guess, that people celebrate. I'm like, wow, like, of course you have to, right? And so, so that day we make like the actual Belgian waffles and do like a little more substantial breakfasty kind of thing with your ice cream. So that's always fun.
Great. So now the women all work there at the Sweet Shop, and like you say, sometimes
they work at the Sweet Shop, and then. Yeah, they work at the Sweet Shop, and then about a year and a half ago, we opened a new working center with the Stroopies on Vine Street. The city gave us permission to actually. It was it's in an apartment building we own. The first floor was just being used for like storage, and the city gave us zoning permission to like change that into a working center because it fits right into the vision for walkable jobs in the city. It's in a residential neighborhood on Vine. That's not a public place to come to, but it gives us a lot more space to work with the women. So
fantastic. And I think the ice cream that you have there, that's Pineview Dairy.
Yes, we are currently making Pineview, or we're serving Pineview. There's that is going to be changing because Pineview is closing down their wholesale part of their business.
Bummer.
So anyway, but we have something really exciting in the pipeline, so people shouldn't be afraid of what's coming. But I don't know if I'll quite announce it yet. But that's
all right.
It's very exciting. So
well, we like to break news, but I can understand if you want to break.
Well, I mean, I can. We are Pineview helped us a bit, and we're learning to make our own ice cream. And so the women will also be making the ice cream that is served at the Sweet Shop coming up like later this like late spring. We'll be releasing some of that. And so we're actually in the thick of learning to make ice cream right now. But we're really excited because we have a lot of extra like Stroopy pieces. And so we'll be able to do some of our own unique flavors as well. So
Stroopy ice cream sounds amazing. It sounds like a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're doing that.
So we're excited, like, I mean, following the women that are being so brave at learning new things, like, I think that's part of what keeps us young, right, Ben? To like keep learning new things and experimenting with things. And so this weekend we had like success with like 3 or 4 of our new flavors. So like it's we're well on our way. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You also carry some local items at the sweet shop too, like from local artisans and whatnot.
Yeah. So Groff's, our family chocolate business, they were like a huge part of just helping us as we were starting out. And we realized that, when you're just starting out as a small business, like it's pretty tough. So we showcase some different artisans and local businesses that have some kind of social mission or social enterprises in Lancaster. And we just let them have space at our shop as a way to just kind of help them as they're starting. So a lot of people use the chocolates and the Stroopies as like gifts. I know so many people have shared Stroopies all across, just everywhere, right? So like they, come in and get those sweet things, but sometimes you want something other than just something sweet to give. So it's been a good partnership. And I know that the artisans that are there feel really blessed to just have a place that they can showcase what they're doing. And we're excited to, and then there's also a couple of our staff that just are starting out. And so we just like showcase what they're doing too. So that's great. It's been fun. I wish we had a little more space, but we're utilizing every single little space we have.
Well, that's good. You have to. You mentioned Stroopies as a gift. I mean, I know I've given and received Stroopies numerous times as gifts. Like stockings are perfect. They fit like right in stockings.
The Lancaster community has been like just. I mean, I cannot sing the praises of the Lancaster community enough. I mean, any beautiful idea takes a village and a community, right, to make it work. Yep. And so many people have surrounded this idea and shared Stroopies and shared the stories of the women that are making them. And it's really humbling and really beautiful to be a part of something that is just bringing us all together and making an impact. So thank you to everyone who shared Stroopies.
That kind of rolls into the next thing to talk about, our question. How can the Lancaster community help refugees and help the cause that you're forwarding there? What can Lancaster County people do to help refugees?
So there's like lots and lots of welcome teams that have been formed around specific families. That's through the resettlement agencies, Church World Service and Bethany. So like different churches or organizations will actually kind of like sponsor a family and provide just whatever is needed as they're getting started. And that's a really great way. I know they collect like furniture because they're always trying to like get houses set up for the families that are coming. And so people are donating, furniture they're finished with or, just anything that it takes to set up a house.
Gotcha.
And I mean, there's just countless ways, but those are some of the ways that I think of like right away. Also, I think one of the biggest needs is just for the people that are coming to like just have a visit, or if there's a family moving in close to you, just to go over and say hi. Like, and a lot of the family or cultures and places they're coming from, it's much more like community based. And so like, I remember there was a family from Afghanistan that came and they were like, no one came and, our neighbors didn't come over and say hi, like right away. And like that felt odd to them. So like just being friendly. If you see a family that, you think might be new or I think that goes a long way in making people feel welcomed in a new place.
I agree.
So
I agree. So I'm going to throw a curveball. I didn't put this on our question list, but can you share a story of maybe one refugee woman or family that worked at the sweet shop or worked with Stroopies that you made an impact in their life and maybe now they're on to something else? But can you share a story like that?
I just thought of one. So I could share different ones, but I don't know if you've gotten a chance to visit the Southern Market over.
Not yet.
You really should go sometime.
I've heard people sing its praises.
Yeah, it's a really great place in Lancaster City. But one of the women from Syria that worked for us, their family had, their business and their home was destroyed in Syria, and they had to flee.
Wow.
And so it was kind of a goal to like start some businesses here once they get reestablished. And that was so fun for us because, it was like that was a similar goal as, So her son started a little kiosk at the Southern Market and is selling Syrian food there. And it's so delicious. Please go check it out. And so then we launched her to go help her son at the little Syrian food kiosk there. And it was, there were definitely tears as we sent her off, but we were so excited just that they got to live this out. And her husband actually was a tailor, working with, just tailoring, sewing things in Syria. And he was actually able to launch his own business here as well. So that was just, it was just so cool just to see their dreams, coming back to them. And that was definitely a highlight. Anytime we get to launch, there's a couple girls that are in nursing school right now. And they're just, starting out, and anytime we get to see them start living into that, that's really exciting. So.
That's what it's all about. Had you not provided the opportunity that you provided with Stroopies and Sweet Shop, that dream might not have been realized. Right. It's just super, super cool.
There's so many people working together to see these dreams happen. I feel like, probably we're just like a really small piece. But we're definitely like big cheerleaders, and I just feel like, when we each, contribute, that's part of the joy of working with the welcome teams too, because they kind of are even additional wraparound support to what we're doing at Stroopies. And I don't know, it just takes us all to make something just beautiful happen. So
that's awesome. Yeah. So what's next for Stroopies and the Sweet Shop? Maybe 2023 and beyond?
Yeah.
You mentioned the ice cream, which that's enough. That's super cool. I'm very excited about it.
That feels like that's kind of like our huge goal for 2023 is with the ice cream. And definitely even just like small. Our biggest thing with Stroopies right now is just figuring out how to get into new markets. How we have our systems. Jonathan, I didn't really mention this, but he worked with. He was a music major, right? But he also has a real engineering mind. And so he helped develop some machines that for the size of, I love that.
Chris loves throwing the old pictures up there.
Yeah. So he worked with another friend to really develop some machines that are helping us with production. And so we really feel like we're poised to make more Stroopies. So, but we just are really looking proactively to find markets that we can sell them at and sell them in. It seems like a simple goal, but it's a goal that has a lot of layers to why we want to do that. It's to provide more opportunities for the women on our wait list. So,
well, that's what it's all about. We wish you a lot of luck with that project and everything that you've got going on there. I'll highlight one of our commenters, Jonna Green. She's a fan of Gardner's, fan of the show. She's always commenting, Stroopy cones. Are you doing that? And if not, you should be. Because that's like $1 million idea right there.
Yeah. So we have to we've actually toyed with it. The part of it is that when the ice cream comes into an actual Stroopy, it makes it a little the caramel really gets, instead of getting soft, it gets harder.
That's right. That's right.
So there could be a way that we could maybe possibly do a caramel that doesn't get as hard, but it's been kind of a mystery. It's been a little bit of a mystery, but it is a great idea. We do like Stroopy, like ice cream sandwiches. And typically what we'll do is we'll ask them, like, because we warm them up. So like the first half is delicious and perfect. But then by the time you're getting to the second half, you're like, oh man, it's starting to get hard, because of the ice cream. So sometimes we'll just put it like on the sides of the ice cream. And so then you can just break it off and like use it as like a spoon or whatnot. And like that works. I feels like that works. Like that's the least messy way to do it.
Yep.
Or like a Stroopy cone taco or something like that,
There you go. Yeah, like a Choco Taco, but it's Stroopy.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Jonna has made herself available for testing. I will put my name on the list as well. If you need testers, you've got two.
I love that.
two testers there. So, well, that's awesome. Thanks so much for all you're doing in the Lancaster community and for refugee women. And thanks for sharing the story of Stroopies, how that got started, and the Lancaster Sweet Shop. We wish you a lot of luck in the future with all that you're doing there. We're not done with the guest yet. We've got our connection cocktail. I feel like, I know Jenny and I know Jonathan. We don't need to show the picture again, but this is a part of the show where we get to know our guest a little bit better. So let's see. Jenny, what is your favorite thing to do in Lancaster? Could be anything.
Yeah, that's like hard when you ask someone, what is your favorite thing? Because,
you've been here all your life. So
I have been here all my life.
Right.
But one of the things that came to mind, First Friday has always been so like a fun thing to do in the city. But what I'm really excited about, I'm still excited about that. Don't get me wrong, but it just feels like the Third Friday music scene. I don't know if you're familiar with Third Fridays in Lancaster City, but it's just kind of like, I feel like, especially as the weather gets warmer, you can just walk around just all over the city and there's people out playing music. And it's just like so fun just to see. Our family loves music too. We love Stroopies, but we also love to make music together. And Jonathan's still putting his music degree to good work, working with our kids and making beautiful music. But I just think, music just makes everything better. And like all these different flavors of music going on all over, when people can just walk around and enjoy it I feel like it's almost, I think First Friday is still happening strong, but it almost feels like it's that the Third Friday music is taking on it's almost like, just as popular or maybe even more. So
that's cool. Anything to draw people downtown is a good thing.
Yeah.
And I, just to kind of back up to what you were talking about earlier, the music that you play at the Sweet Shop and most places just turn on the radio or Spotify or Warm 103 or whatever. I think that's super cool that you're hearing music that you've never heard before and an eclectic mix of everything. So that's in a lot of ways that represents Lancaster. All right. So favorite annual event in Lancaster that you like to go to?
So that was a hard one because when you're a small business owner, you're just like, sometimes you just,
nonstop.
But one of the things we really love to do is, I didn't know if this counted or not, but we love it's the around music, but the music series at Lungs Park.
Yeah. It absolutely counts. Yeah.
That is just like so fun, like such a fun Sunday night, like, just go out and like sit in the park and listen to these cool bands that are coming from all over to Lancaster. So that's what I thought of. So.
No, it's super cool because it's a summer concert series, so there's a series indicates that there's more than one, and you could do it every Sunday night for the entire summer, but it only happens once a year.
Right. There you go.
You're not going to go to a concert in Longs Park in February.
Right.
Although maybe last Thursday would have been an okay day for it.
Totally.
But my family, we love to go too. There's a great mix of musicians that come, all kinds of different music, national acts and more regional acts, and some food trucks there.
Yes.
So that's a great way to experience Lancaster County. Okay, so last question. Let's say you have family from out of town, or people you're hosting, bringing them into town. What part of Lancaster would you impart on them? Like, what are you going to show them about Lancaster? Are you going to take them to the farmland? Are you going to go downtown, or what are you going to do?
I think about this often because I think, I grew up on a farm. My family, 10 generations have lived on the farm, and
Wow.
my family is still there.
Yeah.
So definitely, we're going to go down to see the beautiful farmland and see the Amish, but for sure, like, I'm going to bring them into the city. And like, I feel like Lancaster is kind of, people come here because of the Amish and the farmland or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like there's this growing population of people that are coming to Lancaster to visit all the ethnic and all the different cultures, all the different restaurants, all the different flavors that really like make up the fabric of who we are in Lancaster. I mean, I just am like so excited about that, and I want to be able to share that with people that are coming out of town. Both parts. Like I feel like they're both beautiful, and I would definitely do both.
Well, and that is the beautiful thing about Lancaster. You can be downtown and experience all that downtown has to offer, and within 5, maybe a few more minutes, you could be in beautiful farmland and country and see some buggies and a different way of life out there. So, and you mentioned the experiencing different cultures and ethnicities and foods, and you mentioned Southern Market. That's what Southern Market is really all about. There's a lot of vendors in there that all have unique cuisine from different cultures, right?
Yep. And then there's like a common like food area court that you can just like eat your food, but you can really literally get a sampling of food from all around the world at the Southern Market. Yeah.
It's almost like our own little Epcot Center, right? From Disney World.
It's so true. It's like such an honor that's like right here for us all to enjoy. Cool. So yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I made a note for Southern Market. It sounds like they would be a great guest to have on, and
they would be a great guest.
We had a couple weeks ago. We had Central Market on the show.
Perfect.
And that always pops up like when we ask that question of what do you show off about Lancaster, take people to Central Market as well.
Definitely take them to Central Market as well. Yep. I add that on.
There you go. No, you're only allowed one. Well, Jennie, this has been great to catch up. Thank you so much for all you're doing. Thank you for being a guest. Tell Jonathan we said hello and Mr. Ben here. He'll have to watch and catch up on the show. But thank you, and again, good luck.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you for having me. So
have a great afternoon.
Yeah, take care.
You too. All right. So great. I mean, it's Stroopy ice cream just sounds amazing. I guess you could probably make your own Stroopy ice cream at home, and like get some vanilla ice cream and like crumble some Stroopies and put it on there, and like drizzle some hot chocolate or hot fudge on there. That sounds pretty good. Anyway, visit the sweet shop for your sweet tooth. Experience some Groff's candies, Stroopies, and of course supporting them, the Groff family, and of course the refugee women of Lancaster County, which I just think is really, really cool that they have a heart to do that. Okay, so again, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, go to lancasterconnects.com/guest. Let us know who you are and what story you have to tell us on the show. We'd love to highlight people that are doing great things in Lancaster County, whether you're a nonprofit or charitable organization or a small business like Stroopies or the Lancaster Sweet Shop. We'd love to share those stories. So let us know. We have guests booked through March, but we're booking into the spring, April, May. It's, it feels like it was just Christmas, but here we are about to turn the calendar to March, and the schedule will fill up quick, but we'd love to hear from you. All right, couple things. I got a Sleep Better tip I'd like to share from our book. Sleep Better is the book. You can get it at gardnersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better. Really just go to gardnersmattressandmore.com, scroll down a little bit. You'll see the book right there. Some helpful sleep tips and information. We'd like to share a tip on the show. This is about chain reactions. And this says lack of proper sleep can affect your blood glucose control, and vice versa. Blood glucose glucose control can affect your sleep. It's a vicious cycle. Diabetes can cause severe health complications, including kidney failure, heart disease, amputations, blindness, cardiovascular disease, and nerve damage. Of course, there's some other things. Sleep Better book tells you about sleep and diabetes. But, we talk about it all the time. Sleep is important. It affects your health and well-being. And a lot of times it affects your health and well-being more than you might realize. So this book is all about helping you sleep better. Obviously, we can help you sleep better with a brand new mattress, but there are many ways that you can improve your sleep and overall health and well-being by just following the tips that are in this book. We'll mail you a copy for free. Again, just go to Lancaster or gardenersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better. Enter your name and address, and we'll mail you a free copy of the book. All right. Testimonial time. Pull up my testimonial here. Had a busy President's Day weekend here. Always busy, tax time, people start getting refunds. President's Day, we don't do anything necessarily different than what we might do otherwise during the years. Sure, some of our vendors may have President's Day promotions for a week or two, but we had a very busy weekend, one of the busiest President's Day weekends in our 33-year history. Sometimes I forget what year we're on. But we had a review come in over the weekend from Karen. She said, a great place to make a purchase of a mattress, choices for all price ranges. Sales staff was knowledgeable and took time to answer all our questions. Financing was available, and that's important. What we sell behind us, many people might swipe a card for or write a check for or whatever. But if you take advantage of the bank's money through financing, you can get interest-free financing, 6 months, 12 months, sometimes even longer, depending on the purchase. Make your monthly payment and pay it off in that period of time. It's interest-free, so it's a great way to get into a great bed and take some time to pay it off. Karen came on a very busy day. There were massage chairs, snacks, water, and coffee while you wait. And that is true. All of that is true. We do our best to get to everybody as quickly as we can. But obviously, if you have some time to spend where maybe we're with other people, there's comfy spots to lay down, to sit down in our massage chairs, which we've highlighted on the show before. And you can help yourself to coffee, water, and the treats that are around. So thank you, Karen, for your business, and thank you for your kind review on Google. If you wanted to read what other people have said about gardeners and their experience, you can see that in our Google review listing. Also reviews on Facebook, and we've got a few handwritten testimonial books. I pointed, like you can see what I'm pointing towards. There's like 3 books around the corner from me of all paper, handwritten testimonials that we've gotten. So a lot of proof of who we are and what we do, and the impact we try to have on people's health and well-being, because that's what it's all about. That just about does it for the show. We've had a couple of commenters. Jonna, I think you've won in the past. So today's winner, we're not even going to spin the prize later. Sorry, Chris, you're not going to spin. I'm going to give today's prize to Nathan. John, I think you won last week or 2 weeks ago. Nathan says, cool. Nathan, I noticed you've watched a handful of episodes here recently. We appreciate you watching and listening, and everybody watching and listening. Of course, we are podcasts, so you can hear us on podcast channels anywhere you listen to your podcast. So Jonna says approved. Thank you, Jonna. And thank you, as always, for, there we go. Yay, Nathan. Jonna, thanks for watching and commenting. Appreciate you and your ideas. I mean, the Stroopy cone is just fantastic. So, but again, we're Lancaster Connects. Looking for guests, go to lancasterconnects.com/guests. We'd love to share your story. I think that's all the time we have for today. So to the next connection, see you next time. Bye.